So we still have patch day content to continue with. My last stream ended abruptly thanks to a connection issue. Hopefully we're okay now. We were in the middle of the Hildebrand quest. Welcome back. Hopefully the imposter inspector hasn't gotten too much of a lead on us. So I'm hoping I can just mount and it'd be fine. Let's find out. It would be quite far to walk. Yes, here they are. Trail of fancy footprints. A set of gentlemanly tracks leads to the northwest. Aha! In the sand, in the snow, or in a half-elm of moon dust, I'd recognize those fancy footprints anywhere. They're a perfect copy of mine. Our fugitive imposter must be just up ahead. I sense a gentlemanly presence. He is close, very close. No clones in the northeastern quadrant that we could see. That's clever. Mr. Poo-Poo can scout for us from the air. Aha! I found me. Why? Why did I flee? He seems sad, downcast, very uninspector-like. A flawed creation, to be sure. Such negative emotions would never mar the heart of a true Mandeville man. Praise thou for his patience. 'Twould seem my beloved Hildy has been awoken from his unnatural slumber. abandoning my gentlemen comrades to save myself, my pride in worse tatters than my maltreated wardrobe. My fatherly love denied, unthinkable, unless that is not my son. Another of me survived. Round and round as fast as I can. I can't slow down, I'm a Mandeville man. Now I know I'm dreaming. That can't possibly be real. Ah, that was a little something we were preparing to welcome the people of Atheris. I almost forgot it was still there. The barrage appears to have stopped, but just look at all this junk. Please be sure to pick up your litter before you leave. The moon belongs to everyone, you know. Oh-ho! Hildebrand, Helidor, Maximilian, Mandeville. How glad I am to see you up and about. Your mother will be beside herself with joy. I only stand before you now thanks to Nashu, who stood ever vigilant at my bedside, and to Sister, who ferried my soul back across the rift. My son is indeed blessed with comrades of quality. You have my heartfelt gratitude. To you, Master Poo-Poo, I extend my apologies. In my excitement, I fear I have broken your starship. If there is aught I can do to help effect repairs, you have only to ask. My vessel experienced a temporary malfunction, but there was no major structural damage. It brings me relief and joy to hear it. Might I have a word, Sister? I had actually come to the moon in search of a certain rare ore, and by Thal's good graces my quest has been successful. The ore, however, is but the first step of a longer saga. Meet me back at Razathan, and I will explain the role I wish you to play. Yes, I think it's best we make the journey starwards. We'll not find Master Poo-Poo's friend from up here, unless someone packed an extremely efficacious spyglass. Anybody? No? Then home it is. For years I've chased after the supernatural and the inexplicable, but to encounter so much of it in such a short span of time, my mind still reels from the implications. Yet I must keep my gaze focused beyond the veil. A chance like this comes only once in a lifetime. You needn't worry about the clones returning to plague you. The vaporization ray disassembles matter on a molecular level. See? I told you I recognized those hammers. A good inspector never forgets a tool. Now begins the hard work of compiling my notes into a structured account of events. There is so much to say. I may need to stretch this over several articles. Ah, how lovely to be back on the star of my birth. Father did not tarry to chat, but said something about returning here with a trusted employee. Well, we've no time for further familial pleasantries. Nashu and I must devote all of our mental energies to the case of the silent correspondent. My keen inspector's sense impels me to begin our search in that direction. Make haste, my companions, for justice waits for no man, not even one who is little and blue. Inspector, wait! Can't justice make an exception for me? His channeling appears to be remarkably effective. Fascinating. Yes, most fascinating indeed. Sister, forgive me. I seem to have been labouring under a misconception. After spending time with the Xenobunnies, it has become clear to me that they have not the slightest intention of invading our star. They are of no threat to us. But he is. You know of whom I speak. That devious Master Poo-Poo and his diabolical devices devised solely for world domination. I shall have to investigate him further to learn the intricacies of his plans. But I may require your aid, not to mention your interpretation. I'll even pay you a retainer fee, so please, when the time comes, join me on my quest for the truth. Ah, sister, my apologies for the wait. Shall we proceed to business then? The task at hand concerns nothing less than a family legacy. The recreation of the historically significant and astronomically magnificent Mandeville weapons. They were the designs of a distant ancestor, you see. While the originals have long since vanished, the manual containing the secrets of their construction survived, a precious heirloom passed down through generations of Mandevilles. Why the sudden passion for weaponsmithing? 'Tis true that as a goldsmith I've had little occasion for crafting implements of war. Why this project and why now, you may very well ask? Then I shall very well tell you. The tale begins not so long ago. I was here in Razathan to discuss a deal with an up-and-coming merchant. The matter in question was an acquisition proposal. Alas, the talk soured, so I made preparations to depart. It was then that the sky burst into flame. You know all too well the horrors that followed. I did my best to defend the citizenry from the beasts which spawned, yet I could not save them all. Saved far too few, in fact. The memory of it haunted me day and night, and I found myself unable to work. But then I heard the news of how you and your companions had ventured forth to banish this evil at its source. You forged on in the face of deepest despair, and it gave me the courage to do the same. I took a good, hard look in the looking glass and asked, what can Godbert Mandeville do to safeguard the people of this star? Thus did I realize that I had both the knowledge and the skill to forge the greatest of weapons, that I might empower others to protect themselves and their fellow man. So I began going down the list, acquiring the necessary materials with single-minded purpose. One of these was a goodly chunk of purest Mandarium ore, a metal found exclusively in meteorites, and that only rarely. I searched high and low, scouring impact sites and consorting with kobolds, all to no avail. Then, when none was to be found on Hydaelyn, I set my sights on the moon, where I at last obtained a sizable sample. Now I say, at last, but the list of materials goes on. If I am to collect the rest in a timely fashion, I must employ the help of a comrade of quality. When you can spare a moment from adventuring, or aiding my dear son in his inspecting, pray drop a word in the ear of my manservant here. I shall clear my schedule of trivial interruptions, and we can proceed with the recreation of a Mandeville weapon forthwith. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Razatan, sound the alarm! A prisoner is escaping. What a cliffhanger! Our time on the moon truly opened my eyes, sister, and I mean to keep them open. I know not what the Master Poo-Poo is planning, but it falls to you and me to find out. I keep wanting to save like Dragon Age, open save menu. Of course, we don't need to do that. So, how can we help Godbird? Please note that upon completing the quest to make it to Mandeville, you will receive a Mandeville weapon for a warrior. Oh. Please ensure you have changed to your desired job before speaking with the Mandeville servant. Ah, this is the relic quest. I think we want a relic for Sage. since I believe this is the first relic we can get for Sage. And it is the best class. Make it a Mandeville. Mistress Squish, how wonderful to finally speak with you. Your cooperation in Lord Mandeville's weaponsmithing endeavour is highly appreciated. Regarding said endeavour, we've borrowed a corner of the Kai Crucible in which to base our crafting station. If you would be so kind as to follow me. I haven't been there yet. Exciting. Our humble base of operations. You will no doubt be coming back and forth many times in the days ahead, so I strongly suggest that you attune to the city Ethernet, if you've not done so already. Otherwise, I trust you are all set to proceed. One moment whilst I inform Lord Mandeville of your arrival. Oh, welcome, sister, welcome. With your stalwart assistance added into the mix, I have every confidence that this adventure in forging will be a complete success. And so let us begin with a detailed exposition on the history of Mandeville weaponry. First of all, when I say Mandeville weaponry, what I refer to is a series of masterpieces crafted by the legendary artisan Godbrund Mandeville, the first lord of House Mandeville. Made with mystical mandirium, these purportedly peerless armaments are perhaps our most prized treasures, or at least they were, until someone misplaced them. Terrible housekeeping, that. Fortunately, the time-worn manual in which Godbrund penned his secrets is both intact and still within our possession. Thus, with that precious family heirloom in hand and a ready supply of purest ore, I intend to recreate what was lost. The work, however, cannot proceed without a few more key ingredients. I should like to call upon you to procure said materials, as well as provide a seasoned adventurer's perspective on the fruits of our labour. That's me. Excellent. I knew I could count on you. As a goldsmith, crafting weaponry is akin to venturing into unknown territory, and I would place my trust only in the most proficient guides. Speaking of which, may I introduce one of the very best in the business? Come on over, my friend. Bloody hells, I had a feeling you were the adventurer his lordship mentioned was helping out. Like a fly on shite when you catch a whiff of shiny new weapons, ain't ya? Yes? Give me that loot. Come on, this'll be fun. Oh aye, like a barrel full of plague-ridden Pisces. Look at this gill-addled dandy I'm forced to hammer for. I'd rather drag me stones across hot coals than forge yet another rich old bastard's trinkets. Is that the way of it then? I contacted Rowena hoping to employ the talents of Eorzea's finest smith. But as you clearly have no interest in providing me with your services, I shall hire another artisan. We can put this talk of stones and coals behind us. Wait, you've got me all wrong, your lordship. That was just a bit of smitty humour to lighten the mood. I would be honoured to work on your Mandeville weapon. So here's the thing. I already spent the coin this job will bring me on. Some right fancy bottles of Thavnerian liquor. I can't afford not to do it. So that means we're back in business, yes? Marvellous. Aye, it's bloody splendid, it is. Your crew is all present and accounted for, so let's get to smithing. There is naught I like to do more. Presently, however, there are 3 conundrums which stand between us and making any Mandeville armament a reality. The first of these is the devising of a method for working the Mandarium. From what I've been able to decipher from the manual, the process is quite demanding. You just leave that to old Geralt. I've yet to meet a metal I can't beat into shape. Oh, then I shall cede that chore to your artisanal ingenuity. The second is the crafting of ornamentation which will amplify the weapon's etheric intensity. If it's a sturdy blade you need, then I'm your man, but fiddly bits of decoration are not in me smithin' wheelhouse. Then 'tis fortunate that fiddling with bits is most assuredly in mine, though it shall no doubt be a challenge. Creating suitably exquisite adornments is a task well suited to me and my goldsmithing hammer. As for the third and final problem, wanting for resolution, we require a vial of Exalamandeville. If one has access to an industrial-size alchemical furnace, it should be possible to extract this superlative mineral oil from Mandarium-rich meteorites. Assuming I've understood what I heard of the process, the Axalamandra oil is key to maximizing ethereal conductivity. And thanks to the good graces of the High Crucible, we have the extraction apparatus we require right here. All that remains is to collect 3 or so goodly chunks of Mandarium meteorite. That will be your charge, sister. Right then, I will see about preparing materials for my share of the workload. And I'll start stoking the flames. Sounds like we'll need them nice and hot. Oh, Rowena asked me to tell you something. Seems like one of her lackeys has oh so bloody conveniently set up shop over by the Aetheryte, and just might have the meteorite chunks we need. Lass by the name of Jabrana, I think it was. Could save you some searching, but she sure as shite ain't giving out sky rocks for free. A saga of hammer and heroes. You must be the famous sister. Mistress Rowena said to expect you, and to assist with any procurement requests. Mandarium meteorite. Yes, we happen to have cornered the market on that particular asset. Only so many of them fall from the sky, you see, and collectors offer top gill for such rarities. In your case, however, I've been instructed to request payment in an alternative currency. Say it with me now. Allegan tomestones. The going rate is 500 Allegan tomestones of astronomy for one chunk of Mandarium meteorite. I'll be here whenever you're ready to make the trade. Well, don't just stand there with your thumb up your ass. Let's see the good. Aye, these are proper sky rocks and no mistake. Godbert's not back yet, but I reckon we can get a head start on extracting that special oil of his. Bugger. This might as well be cooking grease for all the conductivity it's got. I must have botched one of the steps, but which one? Pretty sure I followed them instructions to the damn letter. There was no fault in your process, Master Geralt. Oh, then how do you explain this bottle of weak piss standing on the anvil? It has yet to undergo the final treatment, an advanced oil pressing technique passed down through generations of Mandeville lubricant enthusiasts. It'll take more than some enthusiastic oil pressing to bring this liquid up to snuff. O ye of little faith, observe. Egads, man, what in the hell's he stripping down to your small clothes for? I should have known you were just some degenerate fop. Patience, Master Geralt. This is merely the prelude. Behold the mighty squats of the Mandeville man. That should be enough to get the juices flowing. Now to demonstrate the aforementioned technique. A single drop of potently empowered Mandeville perspiration. Ye gods, it's full of stars. But that don't change anything. You're still just an eccentric old bugger prancing about in his sweaty things. Maybe so, but look closer, Master Geralt. Thus is the ex-Salamandreville made ready. What do you mean, ready? All you did was add your drippings. Bugger me! It ain't possible. Don't suppose you're gonna explain this, are you? One does not simply reveal the tricks of one's trade, especially long-guarded family traditions. As a fellow professional, I'm sure you understand. Aye, well, makes no difference to me. Wouldn't be caught dead doing them creepy poses. Bracing banter aside, I do believe this puts us in possession of all the necessary components. 'Tis your time to shine, Master Geralt. Oh, I'll shine all right. You're a cut above the average craftsman, I'll grant you that. But you've still a few rungs to climb. Best shield your eyes, ladies and gents, 'cause my work is positively blinding. Success, just as I predicted. That right there is a collaborative masterpiece. The Array of Mandeville Millpreeves. That I would live to see my ancestors' wondrous forge work recreated. You've made me a happy Mandeville man, sister. Let's not break out the bubbly booze just yet, your lordship. We've got a ways to go before we can call our work finished. Master Geralt is quite right. I've neglected to properly explain that this is the first stage of a much grander creation. The bare bones of the weaponry, if you will. Aye, now begins the endless chore of refinement, which means I'll be stuck here for God knows how long. I am loath to monopolise your time, my good blacksmith, but the manual is written in a most confounding cipher. I am not even certain when I will finish decoding the next step in the process. So I'm to sit idle then? At least I have a few bottles of quality liquor to keep me company. A regrettable yet unavoidable delay. Let us reconvene when the manual has given up its secrets, shall we? Meanwhile, I leave the weaponry in your battle-hardened hands. When next we meet, your report of its performance will be indispensable in guiding our improvements. Ah, and should you wish to experiment with a different variety of Mandeville weapon, then this highly trained House Mandeville artisan is at your service. I've imparted to him the necessary techniques for facilitating the initial stage of crafting. He requires only a contribution of mandirium meteorite to forge a weapon of your choosing. Another near-naked bastard. But what do you Mandeville folk have against trousers? Oh ho ho. You know what? I don't even want to know. Just leave the smithing to me. When I do a job, I do it right. Very well. Then I shall return anon. I am most eager to see the next stage of our masterpiece take shape. A repeatable quest is now available from the House Mandeville Artisan. This quest may be accepted to create Mandeville weapons for other jobs. Please ensure you have changed to your desired job before speaking with the artisan. Mandeville demands. It is 6:15. Not quite as good as my 6:30 weapon. But it does look like little spaceships, doesn't it? I'll be excited to see how they improve. Alright. That is all the Mandevilles done. So, what's next on the agenda? I think it's time to unlock the new dungeon. Hello, how may I help you? You're Sister Squish, aren't you? Aha! I thought I recognized that heroic mien. How wonderful to meet you. The name's Osman. I'm a gleaner, as you might have surmised, mostly specializing in the collection of rare and curious books, and it would seem fate has brought us together. My work has given me an appetite for well-crafted stories, you see, but recently I've struggled to find any truly engaging material. So I thought to myself, why waste all this time bemoaning the lack of quality literature when you could be writing the exact kind of stale tales you enjoy? Which is why I'm so excited to be speaking with the vaunted champion, sister. If I could convince you to share some of the minutiae of your adventures, it would lend my fiction an undeniable authenticity. There's a lot to consider when you visit another world, or the world of the past. Well, that was a complete waste of... Osman, are you actually chatting? Scholar above, it's a miracle. And here I thought you capable of little more than grunts and sighs. Ah, may I introduce Shallow Moore, my colleague and eternal tormentor. Oh, come now, it's just a bit of playful banter. Trissassant and I could use some good humour after failing to track down our quarry. I'll be damned. Sister, this is an honour and an incredible stroke of luck. You are the very person we've been searching for. If you will indulge me for a moment, I can explain the situation at hand. As you know, Charlian was charged to antiquity with fulfilling a sacred duty. A duty which kept the gleaners buzzing to and fro like angry hornets. Aye, we would complete one grueling list of procurements, only to be handed yet another, then another. The work was all we knew. But now those days are behind us. The tasks have slowed to a trickle, and we find ourselves, well, strangely idle. Thus the Guild Ship, in its wisdom, has forged a partnership with the Adventurers Guild. We now have a system in place where odd jobs from other countries can be funneled here to us in Charlian. The tasks they pass on to us are, for the most part, naught your average gleaner cannot handle. There is one client, however, who has asked for you specifically, and as the Adventurers Guild has no official presence in our city, we agreed to the odd job of facilitating that request. Think of us as their substitute Charlian branch, if you will. In any case, I'll be here at the counter, ready to provide you with the details. It doesn't appear to be an urgent matter, so feel free to engage the request whenever your schedule allows. Oh, and be sure to browse Trissassant's wares. He has a special selection available for anyone who takes part in our odd job enterprise. Ah, sister, I didn't quite get the chance before Shallowmore commandeered the conversation, but I wanted to thank you for indulging me with your stories. Do you think we might talk again sometime? I should love to hear how this odd job of yours turns out. As a result of the partnership between the Adventurers Guild and the Gleaners Guildship, you are now able to accept an odd job from Shallowmore. He has new goodies. I have a special range of goods on offer for our odd job contributors. The historic artifacts you are like to find are of far more interest to us than ordinary gil. I guess he doesn't show me yet. The key to the past. So, sister, does this mean you've found a spare moment in your busy god-slaying agenda? Wonderful. We actually have a letter addressed to you from Mistress Momodi. Go ahead and read through that, and I'll dig up the link pearl I'm to use to convey your reply. Dear sister, I hope this letter finds you well and still taking guild jobs, because we've got one here with your name on it. Ordinarily I wouldn't bother you with something like this, but the client is a personal attendant to Her Royal Majesty Nanamo, Unamo, and I'm guessing that piqued your curiosity as much as it did mine. Let Shallowmore know if you can make it over to Uldar, and I'll set up a meeting with this lady-in-waiting. I'm told it's nothing urgent, so at your earliest convenience, Momodi. What are we thinking? Yay or nay? One does not simply refuse Mistress Momodi. Ha! I'll take that as assent then. Let me make the call. And done. Our tiny taskmaster is making arrangements as we speak. She says the lady you're to meet is a Lalafell by the name of Kokoshu. Light brown hair, green eyes. She should be awaiting you outside the quicksand by the time you arrive. Fair fortune and safe travels. Mistress Squish, I presume? I am Kokoshu. But let us be clear from the outset. I am not your true client. The personage who wishes to engage your services is the Sultana, Nanamo Ulnamo herself. Firstly, however, pray allow me to explain the request itself. Then you can decide whether or not you wish to proceed. I trust you recall the tunnels beneath the city of Eldar? I speak, of course, of the Sildan's subterrane, the passages and waterways through which you made your escape on the day of that ill-fated victory banquet. It seems that one of the tunnel sections collapsed during the commotion, and a crew compromised primarily of immortal flames has since been put to work on repairs. In the process of restoring the masonry, however, they came across an unexpected gate. It was described as antique in design, inscrutable in purpose, and sealed by some mystical force. The report appeared of great interest to the Sultana, and she has expressed a desire to investigate this strange portal firsthand. Furthermore, she feels that Master Terrapin and the like are overprotective and will prevent her from exploring to her heart's content. But are we then to send Her Royal Majesty into potential peril without a trusted escort? You see my dilemma. As the proven champion of Eorzea, and veteran of countless heroic endeavours, it is to you whom we would entrust the Sultana's safety. Besides which, she would have it no other way. Her Majesty's wish is my command. Thank you, Mistress Squish. It will mean a great deal to Her Majesty. Please wait here, and I shall inform the Sultana of your decision. Sister, thank you for coming. I greatly appreciate you indulging this selfish request of mine. I should hope for the sake of your adventurous spirit, however, that the mystery at hand proves more intriguing than odious. Kokoshu spoke broadly of what to expect, yes? Then allow me to add a few details to the story. According to the report, the gate bears an intricate flowery design. The flames were unable to ascertain its origin or significance, but I have seen such a motif before. The very same design adorns a key in my possession, the last gift I was ever to receive from my dear departed parents. I recall the ceremony with which it was presented, and their promises to take me to the place the key unlocked once I came of age. They spoke excitedly of the choices I might make, of the things I would behold on my chosen path, but they were called away to Thal's halls long before that day would arrive. With mother and father gone, I despaired of ever learning the key's purpose, and now the portal is found. Surely you understand why I cannot leave it unopened? There could be anything behind that gate. Or there could be anything behind that gate. You see, I knew I could count on your enthusiasm. How reassuring it will be to have a veteran adventurer at my side. Not that I distrust Papa Shan or Pippin, of course, but if I told them, they would only seek to dissuade me from my course. As for Kakoshu, she was the first I brought into my confidence. She is, after all, my lady-in-waiting, and serves as my double when I am away. I hadn't wished to involve anyone else, but she flatly refused to cooperate unless I enlisted a reliable escort. Thus, here we stand, and though I regret the need to have you complicit in subterfuge, the idea of exploring with you has me giddy with anticipation. If you could make your way directly to the excavation sites in central Thanalan, the foreman there has been instructed to permit you entrance. Considering the tunnels reach all the way to the palace, security protocols dictate that we receive reports anytime someone enters the ruins. I will take that as my signal to join you, via the secret passages, of course. Now let us make our preparations. We should, as you say, be ready for anything. She's so adorable. Where is this excavation site? Alright, just outside. Hello, Cabal. How are you this morning? Cabal says you must have a big family with everyone calling you sister. But that's the idea. I am everybody's sister. It's here. Mistress Squish, Lady Kakoshu says you are to have unrestricted access to the ruins for some manner of confidential assignment. I wonder, does this have anything to do with what they found in that collapsed section, or... actually, never mind that. I'm not meant to ask any questions. Ahem. The rubble's been mostly cleared away, but please do watch your footing down there. Wouldn't want you tripping over a loose rock in the gloom. Ooh. V&C Dungeon Finder has been updated. Variant dungeons. These are a unique type of duty featuring branching paths. By exploring these choices alongside the quest character, you will gradually reveal new elements of the overarching story. Unlocking certain branches may require some detective work. Whenever you complete a path, a new story entry will be added to the journal associated with the dungeon, so keep at it until you discover all the forks in the road. Make it a party or go it alone. The difficulty of a variant dungeon is automatically adjusted to provide a challenge for parties of between 1 and 4 players. You can group up with friends, make use of the party matching option, or put your solo player skills to the test. Victory will require effort and attention, but it is entirely possible to complete these dungeons alone. To allow for greater freedom in role choices, variant dungeons grant players the use of special variant actions. These actions mimic existing abilities such as Cure or Rampart, alleviating the need for dedicated tanks, DPS or healers. Each player has 2 actions available for use during the dungeon, and these can be changed at any time in the Dungeon Finder window. You can enter a variant dungeon via the V&C Dungeon Finder window, which is accessed by speaking with the NPC at the dungeon entrance, or by selecting the option from Duty in the main menu. The standalone window serves all your variant dungeon needs, whether you wish to read story discoveries, set your variant actions, or make changes to the dungeon settings. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, there she is, our girl. Kabor says, seems I should finish those Hildebrand quests myself. I only got to Gilgamesh. Sorry, Greg. Yes. They all unlock something fun, don't they? They're very good. Gilgamesh is quite the character. Alright. So we're on Variant Dungeon. We get Astronomy. You get Causality as well from them. So you could do that to cap your tomes as well. It's interesting. You can set your actions. That's quite good. So there is an item level minimum, but it sinks to 635. Okay. 635. What am I? 625. Okay. So it could be quite difficult if it has that minimum eye level. Well, there's only one way to find out. And since we can do it by ourselves, that makes it easier. Alright, we'll give it a go. But I'm gonna be right back 1 sec. Before we start. Alright, Nanamo, I'm ready for an adventure. Three more gates. 'Twould seem we have a choice to make. Do your instincts pull you one way over another? If I were to listen to mine, I find myself drawn to this one. It's your legacy, Nanamo. I think we should pick that one then. Oh, we've picked the same gate. That settles that then. Let our expedition begin. What a stench! I shall have to burn these clothes. Now to preserve me from creepers and crawlers. Pray clear the path, sister. What do they feed on down here? Each other? And why must it smell so positively putrid? Careful, that big one looks nasty. Even empty of pests, this place is dank, mold-ridden nightmare. How long has it lain unattended? Deceiver's diamonds. Ugh, poof! Foam of it filled in my mouth. Is adventuring always this disgusting? I should rather not traverse a fungal bridge, but I suppose if we hurry across. Is there no end to this foul menagerie? Warrior next time, I think. The decay is especially bad in this section. I fear the fungal growth is all that keeps it from collapsing. Nay, this rot cannot be allowed to continue. The tunnels need reinforcement, not to mention a thorough cleaning. Aww. It's okay, Nanamoo. I've got you. Ah, the reek of... Watch your footing. It is coming up through the floor. Exploding catapult. Ouch. Is he playing games? Mind the barrel tops. There must be a reason for... Is he... Switcheroo. I'm moving now. That was exciting. Silden Potsherd. If you can best a Hectonon chair so handily, then it certainly bodes well for the remainder of our expedition. To think that such a cavernous hollow yawns directly beneath Uldar. Raising one of these lifts should provide us passage across, assuming of course that the winch yet functions. The left or the right? Always start with left, I see. Interesting, the lift appears of Uldan design, albeit an old one, but everything else screams Amalja. Did those rolling boulders just sprout legs? Yes, most definitely a Maja construction. Fortifications built for war rather than habitation, I say. After you, I've an aversion to needles. Could this camp be from the time of the zombie purge? Was Father hoping I would see this one day? Did you know that Uldan and Amalja once fought side by side? 'Tis not common knowledge. A door of solid iron, and no sign my key will open it. Do you see any handy levers or the like? A message is engraved in the common tongue. In the beginning, the Lord of the Inferno shared with us his flame. Speak the name of the gift he bestowed upon our bloodline. Ooh. Spark sounds better. Unbeliever, you will proceed no further. Be gone from this place. Oh, damn it. Who is speaking? Well, I've not come this far to let a door turn me away. Break it down. Yes, my queen. Impressive. 'Tis akin to having my own personal battering ram. Disembodied voices, dimly lit staircases, it has the feel of a haunted crypt. Fallen hero's sarcophagus. I crashed. That's very sad. Will it let me back into the dungeon at the same place, I wonder? Let's see what happens.
Tales of